guns, so
Being in the passenger seat to now being in the driver's seat.
can't believe it.
Welcome to 24 Hours in Sydney with Jack Henderson, and we have lots of things going on today, and we're getting started by going for a run. We're actually on a 5 a.m. call this morning, which we have coming up a webinar that we're going to be talking for 90 minutes around all things tech, how much you can earn. And so we're just doing a presentation prep session at 5 a.m. Then we're into a run down here at Bondi. And then we got Gabe, you're on the podcast with Jack Henderson. And then we got all things for the rest of the day with our partnerships and clients. So come along for the day with us. There he is. Hi. How are ya?
Oh, na 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 na.
I haven't done hills in so long. It's pretty juicy. We're at 7k now. And I'm definitely at that point where I'm like, Jack, how many more hills have we got?
Oh, na 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 na.
And then weekly webinars, and then you should have like a crazy high-end offer.
Well, yeah.
That's like,
What's a crazy high-end offer?
I don't know, our high-end's 200 grand, private wealth, up front.
The highest I've heard in the States was like probably like one person that we would like compete with. And then it's 40k to do like the one-on-one sessions.
It's not enough.
Do you have an idea?
As to how much it needs to be, it needs to be 10 times more expensive than your standard offer. Otherwise, there's not enough disparity there. And like you would expect that 1% of people will buy it.
Yeah.
But then it's worth your time.
Yeah.
Where if it's like it's only double what your normal offer is at 40k. It's like for all the extra time you got to put into it and the expectation that those people will probably have.
It's really crazy.
Head into Henderson's office podcast this morning. We had Kayla on as a celebrity appearance, what, a year ago?
Yeah, a year ago I was on there. World dominations of getting to tech sales to buy thousands of property is the way to go.
Yeah.
Now Jack's bringing on the big guns, so
Let's go. How are we feeling?
Feeling really good.
Feeling good?
Love hanging out with Jack, and just like energy would be really fun. And just like excited to talk about also like our property journey and wealth creation and how Jack's been instrumental in that. But also how like tech sales is also fueled getting that leverage and building that wealth, so it's going to be good.
Yeah, no, it's been awesome.
We'll love the team in there too.
Yeah.
Let's get it.
Let's go.
Let's go.
We'll also get a bit of a feel for the setup, but hopefully you and Kay can sit in here, live audience. Podcast, let's go. Business up front, party down the bottom. Jack, let's go deep dive into the juiciest stuff up front.
Okay, let's do it. Fucking nice.
Gabe Mazzano, you've gone from being in the passenger seat to now being in the driver's seat.
Can't believe
podcast.
it. Kayla Stanley was on here only 6 months ago as a celebrity appearance, but
She
you brought
was.
on the big guns. So
I know.
Happy to be here with you.
We started off you were sitting on the bench, and now you've moved into the on the starting team. No, but like
No, that's
the big thing we got out of that was
the income
increasing.
leverage. Yeah.
And then we kept tying it back to sales.
Yeah, no, I love it. Thanks for that.
It was awesome.
Awesome. Woohoo!
How's that?
Super good. Yeah, love Jack. Lots of fun. Recapped on property portfolio with the Henderson Group, 4 million. How do we get it to 10 million? Who knows? But a lot about expansive thinking, and Jack's even said before, how do you increase your income to build more property? And just talking through the journey in tech sales to get there. So annual catch-ups, annual runs, annual podcasts. So this time next year, Jack, who knows? Where will we be? Holy moly, things are happening fast.
There's just so much action every single day. It does really take a lot of companies to go from like, to do $1 million in your first year is huge. And I genuinely believe we're going to be doing like 10 mil in our first year, which is crazy.
Crazy.
And so like the scale at which we're like building all the things at the moment to have a full operational business is at the speed of lightning right now.
Thankfully, we learned some great sales, marketing, customer success, all things business skills in our tech roles to be able to build a business. So let's apply that now to the next frontier. Leaving the office for the last time at the Palo Alto Network office over there. End of an era. Let's go on to the next.
So we have our first webinar coming up, which will be 90 minutes long as well. And we're getting all prepped for that with our key partners. And it's going to be like why tech sales, why the time is right now, what are the potential earnings you can make in it. And so me and Gabe will be riffing for 90 minutes, and we look forward for everyone coming to learn more about that.
Jazz.
All right, wrapping up an epic day, heading upstairs now to Rafi in North Sydney. Interestingly, it's across the road from the Palo office, of which we're right in the heart of North Sydney, and we overlook the Sydney Harbour, which is like a 200-degree view of the Opera House, you know, Sydney Harbour. It's got the beautiful city skylines. And then had an amazing day working through a few things on the business, and then we're across the road here hanging out with some of our founding partners. So got Duncan Simpson hanging out with Adam, Jack's joining us, Kayla's up there, and a few other really cool partners in the Double Triple business too that are all aligned to us in terms of health and fitness, wealth creation, and at the end of the day really transforming their life through what they've been able to do. So it's going to be a whole hope of conversations and discussions, and I'm sure there's going to be so much that comes out of it. So let's head up.
We just wrapped up 24 hours with Jack and Duncan, hanging out with the team in Sydney. As you can see, I was struggling a little bit on the run. Just on a personal note, I obviously from my last YouTube episodes, I did 3 episodes on going, the goal was sub 5 at Busso, which achieved that. And you know, I think last year was a massive, you have different chapters in your life, and obviously fitness has always been a really cool value and a part of who I am, but obviously the focus right now is building the biz. So it's still moving the body each day, but I would say I have a less focus on like performance and fitness goals at the moment. And so it's honestly, I hate to say it, but I feel like I'm like the most unfittest I've ever been. It's like tough mentally to let that go at the moment, but still really keen to start ramping things back up. We have like a Noosa Mara that I was meant to be doing. Oh, well, you were as well. We all were.
Noosa Marathon end of May, and so building the business, it's just like a complete different shift now.
Yeah,
away from physical training.
Yeah, I just changed my ticket to 10 kilometers, and I'm thinking about changing it to the walk. But but ultimately had an awesome, you know, couple hours with Jack, and always love catching up with Jack, as you know, he's really helped grow the portfolio. But how did you feel on the potty?
That was amazing. I feel like Jack and I really vibed, and I'm really excited for the episode to actually come out and see how it was. But it was really awesome talking through personal journey, building the property portfolio, and then everything we're doing in tech sales too throughout our career, and how we've pivoted into Double Triple. And I just love going into Jack's office. Like, it's so electric. I love seeing all the guys there. And finally, I'm starting to see they've all actually reached out and connected with me on Instagram. Finally, I've made it. So it's nice. It's always nice seeing his team. And I always feel really energized going into Sydney, going for that run. But yeah, I love having a riff-raff and speaking about really bold, big ideas. I think we really pushed the point about having an expansive mindset in the podcast. And I just love that, because, you know, I wouldn't have had this life, or this life we've been able to build together, without that sort of expansive thinking and mindset. And I think that goes a long way with the community we're building at Double Triple too. So I always love being around Jack, because he's a big mind and he's such a kind guy at the heart of it. Of course, he's very over sensationalized on the media, and he's a marketing genius. But you know, when you see someone's personal life and the hustle that they have every day, and the business he's built is phenomenal, and I get a lot of inspiration from that. So I really enjoyed the podcast with him.
Yeah, for me personally, with Jack, it's like I went to high school with Jack, and he's the, you know, in quotes, like whatever successful is to you, it's very different to everyone, but he is genuinely like the most successful person I personally know in my network. And it's so cool, because I feel like we literally came from the same high school, very like similar upbringings, I would say. And so it always motivates me that it's just like a mindset and a belief thing. And I can see over the past like 15 years, but like even really 10 years, when he first started talking about property, getting into the region, I've obviously kept an eye on that the whole time, and I could just see the challenges and the setbacks that he had, but then to keep breaking through and keep growing more and more, it definitely motivates and pumps me up. But also, Gabe, like what was pretty crazy about yesterday is like you also had your last day at Palo Alto Networks. Like,
true,
you know, like it was like a full-on day, and it's like really hard to digest everything happening to us right now, because
it's chaos.
Yeah, like honestly, if you read our we have like this big 12-month calendar up on our wall in our bedroom, and we've had it for the past 5 years, and we have like our goals on there, and it's this like, it's like the big ass calendar, but basically like it literally was not on our bingo cards to leave our roles this year. Like that wasn't the intention.
Yeah.
And so
crazy. We
obviously over the past 7 years have been like financially really smart. We've done things to really get ahead, and that's why we've always been like, we've always had that mindset, I think, together of, you know, what can we do each year to get ahead. And we can actually step away from our roles financially to do that. But ultimately started posting online, and we now have 40 people through the program, and it just got to a point where it made sense. But also we are so fascinated by the tech landscape at a whole, from wanting to go broader and deeper into the industry. But when you're also in a tech company, you can only really confidentially speak about that one vendor in a way. And so how are you feeling about that whole transition at the moment?
Yeah, true. Yesterday was my last day in big corporate, so here we go, we've burnt the boats. Also, I would like to highlight that the big ass calendar, the big 12-month plan, which goes in a 7-year cycle for us. You literally said to me in January, your goal, Gabe, next year is not to launch a business.
No, guys, seriously, the goal.
You just started posting, and you're like, I think we need to post. I think we need to build a business page. I'm like,
oh my god, I know. No joke.
And now I've left my job, so here we are.
No joke. Gabe's goal this year was to actually not start a business. And
but it wasn't your goal. So
no,
you started the
it wasn't.
business.
And then so I just
and now here we are.
I'm like, all right, I'm doing this. So it just sort of all happened. And if you are keen to obviously check out, what we are doing with Double Triple and sort of the programs that we are running, we have a 90-minute webinar coming up on the 19th of May. And that's going to break down everything from how I got started, how we're helping clients, the different backgrounds and diversity of people coming from all walks of life, how they're landing roles, but also then showcasing the 2 different offers that we're providing if you're breaking into tech sales or you're already in tech sales and you want to accelerate and level up. There's going to be a whole 90-minute breakdown that I'll be walking us through. So the links, I'll drop the link actually down below. So check that out, go register, and would love to see you all there. We're going to be posting a YouTube episode every single week. We are big fans of build in public, and so that is our goal here. So definitely, hit the like and subscribe to be able to check into a weekly episode with myself and Gabe. But otherwise, would love to see a comment from you all watching in the comments below. Any feedback, any more sort of videos or vlog styles you want to see, or breakdown of tech, anything like that will give us inspo into what to create next. But otherwise, thank you for tuning in, you legendary humans, and we'll see you on the next episode.
You leggings.